Saw on Reddit the other day this article about how someone was experiencing the worst Facebook ad performance in the last 7 years of running Facebook ads. I saw a bunch of people in the comments basically just kind of coping and saying, hey, it's the same, blah, 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 terrible performance and all that stuff. And I'm not going to sit here and like try to pretend that I'm some high level person that's above everyone else and, you know, that we're not experiencing any Facebook performance issues. Currently right now, we're seeing more accounts not hitting targets than accounts that are hitting targets. Now, there's a lot of things that can be linked to this. About 2 weeks ago, there was a huge dip in the stock market, a lot of issues from like the economy side, and that created some impact. Remember that week probably being the worst week out of all of them. Next major event is that we're approaching Q2. Pretty much the end of every quarter, we see a big dip in performance. It's usually the last week or two. I don't have like what I would say like proof I could show you on paper of why this happens, but I've talked to a lot of people over the last decade of me running advertising. It's kind of common between a lot of people I've talked to is the fact that there's brands out there that spend significantly more than us. I'm talking about almost $1 million a day, $200,000-$300,000 a day in ad spend. Brands like Target, Walmart, Nike, Under Armour, like large global brands. And these people have hundreds of millions of dollars a year to deploy on advertising. And what happens here is that the end of a quarter, let's say you have 2 weeks left of that quarter, if they're underspending, as in they didn't spend enough to meet their goal for the quarter, they'll blow all that spend towards the end of the quarter, even if they have the worst performance ever, because what that does there is allows them to have a bigger budget for Q2. So for example, if their budget for Q1 was $100 million in ad spend, they only spent $75 million for majority of Q1 and they have 2 weeks left and they need to hurry and spend $25 million to hit that $100 million goal, they'll just go blow all that money in the last period of time right there. Because if say Q1, they only spent $75 million, but were given a budget of $100 million, then in Q2, what'll happen is because they didn't hit that goal of that budget, they'll reallocate that budget to somewhere else in the business. So then Q2, they only have $75 million to spend since they only spent that in Q1. If you have tons of brands just dumping ad spend, that makes it more competitive. People are seeing more ads in their system, and it just creates more fuckery basically. Now, the last thing is we're transitioning specifically in the US from winter to spring. Technically, we're actually are in spring now. And if you haven't really updated your creatives, if you're still running a lot of like winter creatives, if you're still running a lot of winter products, then as it starts warming up in the USA and people are getting into spring mood, some products just simply don't resonate with that transition, and you have to actually find new winning angles to resonate your product again, but for spring. Now, Nick, how do you actually handle these performance issues? So for me, I like to pretend I'm like, you know, stranded in the woods, and the only way out of these woods is through this like body of water in front of me. I jump in this water and then I'm like, fuck, this water is going against me, meaning the water's pushing me back. So I have to swim harder to get to the other side of that body of water so I can go home. Now, of course, I would hope the water's moving with me so that way it just kind of pushes me off and I barely have to do anything. But because it's pushing against me, I still have to swim regardless. I still have to get the work done. It's just more difficult. And that's the same thing with the current Facebook ad performance. It's like, yeah, it's not ideal, but I still have to fucking get it done. I can't sit here and bitch and complain on the internet and like not run Facebook ads at all. I still have clients that pay me and expect me to perform. So yeah, I can go on Reddit and cope with everyone else and make a post every day about how performance is terrible, but it's not going to push me and help me get to where I want to go. In fact, it's just going to take more energy from me by having to go do those actions like, hey, performance is terrible, Nick, what to do? I'm like, what to do? Same shit you've been doing. Now, there is some things that we have done differently, and I wouldn't really say differently. It's just more reminders of shit to look at inside of your account. So for me, there's 4 key things that you can be testing right now that can help you with improving this performance. Number 1, as I mentioned, we're switching into spring. So if you run anything on your website like 10% off, just take that offer, go shoot fresh content that's related to spring. So if you're a clothing brand, you want bright, warm colors. Let's say, for example, maybe by a pool, beach, things like that, that like opens people up. And then just simply take that offer, put it on the creative. Hey, spring sales here, 50% off, and that's it. Number 2, how can I create urgency with the new desires of shifting of the seasons? That's the next thing I like to look at. For example, right now, there's a lot of women that are going to be more in bikinis and stuff like that. So for me, I can position like a hair remover specifically for them with getting a ingrown hair free bikini line. I can do a lot of visuals of them by the pool showing off the ingrown free bikini line, and that's going to increase the relevance with the new season right now and make them want to take action now. Number 3 is just simply more exaggerated hooks from the visual perspective and the textual side, where we can just simply cut through the noise. So for example, do you feel fat when you put your pants on versus do you feel like the penguin from Batman when you put your pants on? Now, lastly, number 4 is ad funnel and AOV improvements. So if you go inside of your Facebook ad account right now, click last 7 days and then click on the ads tab. Sort by the highest spending ad down. What is the frequency of your highest spending ad? If that frequency is anywhere between a 1.0 to 1.15, I would say that, hey, this ad is doing a really good job at bringing people into your business. It's not getting fatigued because it's bringing in a lot of good impressions. The other thing I like to look at is CTR and CPC. I never make decisions based off CTR and CPC. I make all my decisions based off spend and cost per purchase. But where CTR, CPC, and frequency come in is help me tell the story of what's going on with this ad. So if it's gaining really high spend, it has a low frequency, it's doing a decent cost per purchase, and it's doing good CTR and good CPC, this is showing to me this ad's doing a really good job at bringing people into the business that are cold. Now, there's 2 options I can do from that. Option number 1, I can go look at all the creatives in my account, and I'm looking for lower funnel creatives that I can introduce into the account. So let's say our ad is currently solution aware, then I'll go look at product aware ads and aware ads that are not going to spend a lot, but they're going to help convert more people at the lower part of the funnel. Let's say that ad is unaware, then I'll literally be looking at problem aware, solution aware, product aware, and aware ads to put in the funnel. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is, because we're getting really good stats on Facebook, the next thing I'm going to do is go hammer AOV, so that way I can accept a higher cost per purchase inside of the account. And the reason why I say hammer is because there's a lot of people that are like, oh, Nick, I tested AOV. And guess what they did? They did some bullshit like, hey, buy 2, get 1 free. Or, oh, all right, I'm just going to upsell them the same exact product all over again. And it's like, this is the dumbest shit ever. When we want to improve AOV, we want to hammer AOV test exactly like we're doing it from a creative testing perspective. If your product makes sense to do a quantity break, then that's the first thing I'll be looking at as the first upsell. Now, I don't want to just keep hammering more and more and more and more in their face. What I want to look at now is I want to start looking at what are other higher ticket products that I can upsell them to, or other lower ticket products that help them with their new purchase. The equivalent of me going to the store, buying an iPhone, and then what they do, hey, here's a screen protector, $50. Here's a phone case, $75. Here's a power thing to plug in the wall because now the new phones don't even come with one of those. Here's another $25. If you buy an iPad with this, you get the iPad at 50% off. Now all of a sudden your ticket went from like $1,000 to almost $1,500, and they're making more. If I can improve the AOV for the business, then I can accept the current CPA I'm getting now and become profitable again. This means you need to prioritize AOV every single week. Run an AOV test every 7 days. Hey, swap this product in, swap this product out, all of that good shit. If you're a fucking drop shipper, this is even easier because you don't even have to worry about going and make these products. You can just go find whatever product and test it out on your site. Do not become complacent with your current AOV numbers. One of my top students in my coaching program literally focuses on doubling AOV every month and helped him hit $1 million months with his store. That was something that a lot of other students weren't doing, but it allowed him to spend so much more money on ads at a higher CPA because he prioritized it every single month and kept pushing. Again, two separates. There's the creative sides on the Facebook ad side, but then there's the AOV side where you really prioritize that as well. And it literally becomes like a creative test every week. You have your tests for every week for creatives, and you have your other test on the AOV side that you want to be looking at right there. So two key components right there we really want to double down on. Cool thing about all this is that if you focus on all this and improve your business, once we get in a good time of performance, you're going to be wiping the competition because you're doing all the hard work right now that all your competition is bitching and complaining about and not doing because, oh, performance is bad. I'm just going to take a break and come back in a month or two. I'm just going to turn off my ads. But no, you're going to wipe them clean because you're actually going to take the time to do the hard work right now. That's only just going to further improve your business. When you get back to market, or when the performance gets back to normal and all your competition starts to come back in, you'll be able to accept a $50 to $100 cost per acquisition and be fine where they still need a $20 and $25 cost per acquisition. And guess what? You'll be able to outspend all of them and crush them when it comes down to performance. Hopefully this video helped you out. Thank y'all for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you want me to help you run your Facebook ads and doing over 100K a month, want us to help you out with the creatives, the AOVs, all that good stuff like that, click the link below to have Nick Theriot run your ads. If you're making less than 100K a month and you want me to mentor you, hop on one-on-one calls with you and do group weekly calls as well, click the link below to have Nick Theriot mentor you. Thank y'all for watching, and I hope you have a good rest of y'all day. Peace.